Hey everybody, Derral Eves here for Tubebuddy, and I'm super excited to have you guys on our discussion about the YouTube algorithm, all the freaking changes that are happening here on YouTube, and also we're going to answer your questions because you are cool because you use a Tubebuddy tool, right? Now, Tubebuddy is good friends of mine, and I really do appreciate all that they do for me because they make my life a lot easier. Saves me hundreds of hours each week, and I'm able to really put their software and their systems into my workflow and make our company a lot more profitable. Now, a couple things. I want to do a huge congratulations, huge props to Tubebuddy for surpassing 100,000 views. Isn't that just awesome? I mean, that is just great. I mean, not only are they a great tool, but yet they're building an amazing community here on YouTube, and they're really supporting and caring for the community. Now, my question for you, and this is really, really important before we actually get into it, why did you guys start on YouTube? I really want to hear that. We're going to actually start going through some of the comments, and I want to kind of see what kind of the feel of what the people are actually watching this video live and also those that are in the replays. Really curious about that because I want to be able to help you in the best way that I can possible. Now, a lot of you might not know this, but yes, I have my own YouTube channel, but you probably don't know that I only spend 20 minutes a week putting that together. And I also own 17 other YouTube channels. That's right. I didn't stutter. 17. And we're putting up anywhere between 20 to 22 uploads per day for those 17 channels. And so we're super busy. We also manage a lot of other content creators' channels and work with them specifically. But I love YouTube. I love the ins and outs of YouTube. And I'm passionate about it. And I think a lot of you don't know this either, is I've helped literally 14 channels start from nothing and get over 1 million subscribers. And last week, it was last week that I actually surpassed 22 billion video views. And so that's kind of a big deal for me. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. It matters what you're doing right now to get success. And that's what we're going to discuss here on this live interaction and training. Now, I do apologize. I'm coming down with some cold, which I'm really worried about it because any of those guys are in Australia, I'm heading your way for VidCon. I have a presentation there talking about the YouTube algorithm, and we're going to go really in depth there as well. So hopefully I'm all through that cold before we get things rolling there. So taking a look at some of you guys, a lot of vloggers, a lot of gamers, people want to make money because they're poor. That's a great motivation for sure. And they're really, really starting to come in here, which is super awesome, guys. And there's multiple reasons why this works, why YouTube's a great platform for you guys. And I want to talk about, first off, the changes that are actually happening to YouTube. Some are really good, some are really bad, and some are really, really, really ugly. Now, I'll let you decide which is good, which is bad, which is ugly. I kind of have my opinions on a few things. But have you seen the new layout, actually, that hit today? Now, I've been running the material design for about 6-8 months. It's something I like to be on beta for. And the new layout is here. I mean, it launched today. YouTube actually has a new logo, and they have a new layout that's actually happening here. My question to you guys is, do you like it? Okay, because there's one feature that I super love about this, and I'm going to just show it to you real quick. It's like one of the coolest features ever. You can go in dark mode, baby. I love this, man. Especially for me, I just like having things pop like that, and I think just the dark mode's cool. But my question to you guys is, do you like it? Do you love it? What do you think about it? I know some people really do not like change, and YouTube's very strategic on things that they do and what they do. And They get a lot of data before they do anything. And so what you might not know is when YouTube does anything, they do these little tests. And they create these pockets out on YouTube, and they start associating channels together and the type of videos, the content. That's a really important thing to know and understand, especially understanding the algorithm. But what YouTube does is takes these tests, and they call them experiments. And last year they did over 2,000 experiments where they just put these experiments out in the wild, and they pull data back telling them what actually happened. Was it good for what YouTube wants for their end goal, or was it bad what YouTube wants for its end goal? And the better that it is, they tweak, they modify, and then they expand. If it's something that they like, they'll start to expand it. So material design was one of those experiments that they actually started, and they put it out there for people to test. They also put it out there in the wild to see how it was interactive. And I'm here to tell you, whether you like the design or not, whether you think it's aesthetically pleasing or not, it actually gets more views. I know that seems weird, but it's true. It's like they literally are looking at the long-term effect of that user interaction, the viewer interaction with channels, and they have deemed it worthy enough to roll it across the board. And they've been having this for about a year, and so they did a lot of tests, a lot of tweaks. I've seen a lot of variations. You might not like it. I don't know what I think about it still yet. I mean, I've been using it for a while, but it's something that they finally rolled out and are getting in front. Now, there's a couple things that literally gets me going a little bit, and I'll just kind of show you over here. Over in the left-hand side, you used to always have the channel icon. That's no longer the case, guys, and it's no longer there. And you notice, too, here, they have all the apps. So now YouTube has like all their apps, like YouTube for Artists, which I didn't even know existed, Creator Academy, which is pretty cool, YouTube Kids, YouTube Music, YouTube Gaming, and YouTube TV. And so you have all your apps that are right here. But my thing is like I got used to always clicking to get my channel. And now I have to come all the way over here. It took me a couple months to just really get this down. And I would switch back and forth. And you'd have to click this and then go to my channel. And that would take you back to the page here on yours. So like the big thing for me, that was always an issue. And, getting reprogrammed, I guess, is always tough as a content creator. And I look at timing of when YouTube has done these things. Is it the best timing to make a lot of changes? I don't know. There's a lot of things that are going on with YouTube right now that are really, really frustrating as a content creator. Now, I know a lot of you are really concerned about the adpocalypse and having some issues with monetization, and that's where a lot of frustration has come into a lot of you. And then others have seen a huge decline in views, in interactions, and so on and so forth. And then others have seen, hey, I have all these subscribers, but they're not being notified. There's a lot of frustration. So my question to you is, tell me, what is your number one concern? Put it in there. We're going to actually call you out, and we're going to start answering your questions. And I'm going to go in more depth for you in this training. I'm going to give you a lot more depth about the algorithm and answer specific questions about YouTube, the way it operates, and how you can actually leverage that to grow a specific audience. Now, also, at the end of this video, I have a surprise for you. Something that if you have to jump off early, just come back and watch the rest of the video. It's something truly amazing. And it's something that I wanted to give to the Tubebuddy community. And it's something really big. So that will be at the end of this video before we go there. So, Kinky Crown, Kinky Crown. There you go. I don't know what that means. I don't know if that's advertiser safe. I don't know. But he or she has the suggestion. It says, look, I get unsubscribed from YouTubers all the time. What's up with that? So here's the thing. And I made a video a while ago, and sometimes YouTube doesn't put their big boy pants on and claims issues that they have. But in 2012, they had this issue of validating subscribers. And what they would do is when a subscriber would subscribe to you, that whenever you release a video, they would ping to see if they were active, and if they weren't active, or if it was an abandoned YouTube account, that they would actually start closing down those accounts and deactivating it. The reason why they did that was because of bots, and then it kind of expanded from there. Now, in May 2013, there was a lot of people that lost a lot of subscribers because YouTube did their scrubbing. Basically said, look, we're going to validate all the accounts, and we're going to take down any one account that we feel like is not necessarily a person and that they're a bot. And they took down a lot. I think PewDiePie lost like 4 million subscribers or something like that. It was something crazy, but it was across the board. I lost subscribers. Everybody lost subscribers. And that's something that they're doing. Now, during that time, there was this random fluke issue. I think the first time that was really addressed was in February 2012, and no, February 2013, I'm sorry, that someone put in there, say, hey, I got unsubscribed from a channel. What's up with that? And I truly believe that there is a bug since 2013 that literally will unsubscribe people from their channels. Now, I can't validate it, but I can tell you this right now. I have subscribed to people that I'm now desubscribed to. And trust me, I am an active user on YouTube for sure. And so this is something that I know a lot of you are frustrated with. Okay, let's go ahead and take another question. Some people are saying, hey, did he say 2013? Yes, that's when it started, and they haven't fixed the problem. I'm just saying it's happening for 4 years. This problem's been existent, and they haven't done anything about it that I can see. It still happens. Okay, so let's go ahead and take another one. Another question. I want to know, while playing a video, why not to advertise a show of monetized video. So are you asking specifically, Anil, are you asking specifically, should you advertise your own stuff or actually advertise in the video? Your question's not too clear. Let's see here. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna just answer it the way that I think it is. So basically, should you actually advertise the show within another video? I personally would not do that, and there's a couple reasons why. We actually handle a lot of ad spend, but I would spend money, but I would do it with discovery ads. So when people are searching, or it comes up in suggested videos, I'd pay for those type of ads, because people would be able to click on it. With the view, it doesn't matter. It's just going to pre-roll, and it's going to go out to people that you're probably not connected to, or not connected to, but that has no relevance. And so when it's more relevant of, hey, they're actually searching for these type of things, or these are the channels that I want to focus in on, then it's a little bit more engaging. That's a great question, Anil. Hopefully that's what you're asking. Okay, Wilkie says, okay, it's scrolling way too fast. Do you think that YouTube's going to lose out on competitor when it comes along, putting the creator first? Surely it's just a matter of time. Your example in the Amazon video. Okay, now here's the thing, is they do have competitors right now, but they're not the same type of video platform. You can make money at Facebook, and they do have it. So if you have 50,000 likes, that you can apply for their influencer program. Basically, they'll share revenue with you, but you have to be pre-approved. I've only gotten like 15 people, past that. Working on the new one from there. We actually have a program that's starting on Facebook Watch. It's their new type of TV for Facebook, but ultimately, there is going to be competition, and I just hope it's Amazon. And the reason why is because they're going to integrate their stores so closely with the platform, like they did Twitch and a few others. And it will be really easy to say, oh, this product was in this video, go ahead and buy it. And when they buy it, you can actually make money, and you can also make money on advertising. Just makes sense to me. And I've heard things in the industry, but I think YouTube is a great company. I am a fanboy. Have I really been dissatisfied with a lot of stuff and decisions they're making? Yes. Are they in a very difficult position? They are. Are they trying to please multiple parties? They are. And the three parties they're trying to please are the advertisers and the viewers and the creators. And it seems like if they shift a little of their focus to one of the areas, they're kind of off balance and it creates friction. And right now we have a huge friction point with content creators, and it doesn't seem like it's healing very well. It really doesn't. And so I voiced my concerns I do some consulting with them, and I voiced my concerns with them, and they're looking at it. They're very observant. There's a lot of things are going on. And I'm one that if competition comes in, it's going to make them fight for the creators. And when they start fighting for the creators, that's when more incentives actually come from the creators. And that's why I'm all for it. So very good. Wilkie, thank you so much. Okay. Abstract Discovery says, my content wasn't good enough though, and the algorithm threw me off. So the algorithm is an interesting beast. And YouTube doesn't like us to say the algorithm. They don't, because there's thousands of different algorithms that are actually going, and they just work in harmony. And basically YouTube's machine learning, where they put these little systems in place and it learns and it grows and it makes decisions. So give you a perfect example of that. They just rolled out a new way to monetize or demonetize. It just depends on what you're looking for. I'm going to go to my channel because it's one of those things that I'm still scratching my head on this one. But anyway, I released this video. And this video was about Amazon. Amazon wants YouTube influencers. And this one got marked not suitable for advertisers. And then the next day, I made a video on why, I wasn't suitable for advertisers, and I did this one here. And that wasn't suitable for advertisers. And I'm like, come on, guys. I mean, out of all the people in the world, I thought, hey, here I am a fanboy. I thought, hey, they're going to look at me and say, okay, he does do quality content. I mean, I'm as clean as you can get on YouTube, and considering. And, I'm very brand safe, but yet they still deem it. And what happens is this machine learning says, oh, let's go apply these principles to this specific YouTube channel because he's using specific keywords in the title, in the description, in the tags that are kind of in the gray area. So let's kind of move it for human review. When it goes to human review, then human says, oh yeah, no, you're fine. And they get approval. Well, here's the thing. Until they're able to correct the machine will keep on making the same problems. And so the more data that the machine gets, the smarter it becomes. This is how it always operates on YouTube. So I'm giving them some tolerance. If this still happens in 3 months, I'm going to be really upset because, with the data that it's able to get and all the people that are able to see it, they'll be able to start identifying what's good content versus bad content. But yeah, it's a tough issue for sure. All right. So let's talk about the algorithm a little bit. And I know I want to answer your questions and have this discussion through the algorithm, but I know a lot of you are really concerned about getting discovered, and you're like saying, what should I do, Derral? What should I do to actually get my videos seen and I'm able to grow? Now, I'm here to tell you that there's several tactics and several abilities that you're able to do and leverage YouTube for it. It's really, really important that you understand these tactics. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if they're a multi-billion-dollar company I'm working with or a content creator who just started out. Here is the order of importance that you work on your video. Number one is your thumbnail. That's right. You heard it from me. Your thumbnails are the most important thing that you can actually do, because if they don't click on that thumbnail, they're never going to see your video ever. And so getting a clickable thumbnail, something that tells a story or something that pulls it in, definitely gives you a better chance at explaining what the video is and getting people pulled in. Like this video here. I just made this where I have a shock look, have a tattoo that says I'm not brand safe, And, you know, that's supposed to really pull it in and get people there. And so that's kind of what you need to look for, is ways to really tell a story, get engaged with your audience, and have people click. The next thing is the title. And it should correspond and support your thumbnail, and it's really important. And so those things go together. And I like to look at it as, hey, is this the headline? This is the blog post headline. And you want to make sure that it's good, it's engaging, and it's clickable. So those are the most important things there. And basically, when people come on, your content itself is that hook, like really pulling them into to the story. And I'm going to show you an example of a good friend. Love him to death. He's just a great guy. Been able to grow quite a bit. But I was just like chatting with him today, and I'm like, man, he's just exploding right here. But Chad Wildclay, I don't know if you know Chad or not. But anyway, he has 1.8 million subscribers and grew in a very short amount of time. And what he does, I'm going to go ahead and just click on a specific video. He has a really, really good hook. So what he does is take a snippet of the segment and literally will pull it out, get people's attention, and then tease them. Right here is when the hook ends. Boom. Okay, so it's like, hey, I want to see that. I want to see the rest of that. And so that's kind of really important to do. And I think the key would be, how do you actually pull them into your video and say, hey, I want to see that. I want to see where that is, and be able to pull it in. And so if that supports your thumbnail, that supports your title, then people are going to watch your video. And I found that you have about a minute of wiggle room to get the people engaged into your video. And the more that you can get them engaged, the longer that they're actually going to watch. So those are some of the things. Now, that's great. And you might say, Derral, look, I do all of this, but I just am not getting the views. So what can we do? What can we specifically do to get found? Well, the first thing is looking at creating traffic sources so that YouTube's able to get your data into their system. So if you have 0 views, and trust me, I've started plenty of channels with 0 views, and we've been able to grow it, it's doing this. Getting it so that it's clicked on. So I would use Tubebuddy, and that's why I love Tubebuddy so much, when you're actually uploading a video, to follow one of my steps or one of my cohort steps of properly uploading a video. And the tags are outright critical. The title is outright critical for ranking in YouTube. Now you're like, oh, that doesn't mean anything for ranking, but it does. Where your videos show up and how well that they actually do with those videos, like in search, like people, you have 20 people that search for that key term, and of those 20, 10 of them click on your video. Well, YouTube's saying, oh, that's a really good ratio. Let's start suggesting that out to more videos. And then 2, one thing I like to look at is my video actually performing? And I like to go into analytics and look at the video's performance and see if there's anything that's getting some traffic. I'm like, could I make another video with this video that's getting traffic? Because if I do that, YouTube literally will do this. When you upload a video, it notifies some of your subscribers. The second thing that it does is it starts to strategically place your videos along that upload along your videos. And so if you have videos that are corresponding or are similar or in a series, whatever you want to call it, YouTube's going to go out there and says, what's the best logical place to actually post this video so we can get some more data? So what it does is it goes out and puts it out there, and based on how many people actually see it and they click on it and then they engage with it and how long they stay on your content, then YouTube literally starts to spread it out to the world. Now, you might say, well, my content's only short form or my content's only long form. It doesn't matter. All YouTube's looking at is, are they seeing it? Are they clicking on it? Are they going to the video? And then they start suggesting out more. Now, after that, then they start basing it on other factors that YouTube's actually looking at, okay? Which would be, how much watch time does it have? The velocity of that watch time, you know, the type of interaction. And when I mean interacting with the video, it's more not like leaving a comment. But rewinding, watching it multiple times is a very big deal, you know, and if it has a high number, and then two, it's also looking at the association of other videos. Is it a video that was coming from another video, or is it going to be better to put with this other video? There's a lot of tests going on. And so the more data that you can actually give YouTube to do its job, and the better that the video is, the more that it's actually going to push out. And so one of the things that most people get frustrated with, they're like, hey, I'm not really doing it, but they're really across the board. They're really not going after suggested video search, or I'm sorry, for search, and they're not really capitalizing on suggestions for those suggested videos. And so the reason why is their thumbnails aren't good enough, their titles are not good enough, they're not having good enough click-through. So, yeah, let's go ahead and, do you have any questions about this? Let's go ahead and do that. While you're doing some questions, I'm going to pull up, I'm going to go back here real quick. Let's go back to, well, we might as well just do this. Just click this and go to my channel. Back to Tubebuddy. So hopefully you guys are, you know, seeing some value of this, and hopefully you're utilizing the tool as much as possible. And one thing that I like to do is I like to come in here pretty much every day, and I like to really start doing the Tag Explorer to help me understand things that are actually happening. So just to give you a couple examples, and I want to do this as you're seeing this. So if I'm going to talk about football, I'm going to go ahead and explore the tags, because I want to know what tags are going to be relevant, what's the search queries, you know, what are some of the volumes, what the competition's like, and so on. What I really like, you have your summary of everything, right? And you can kind of see this. I want to see what's trending right now. And two, trending's a really important thing, and they're pulling it from not only YouTube, but Google Trends. Like, this is a big deal. And, you know, using some best football or football skills or highlights or funny football, you know, it starts to pull these things in. And what we want to do is look for the weight of the keyword, what we want to rank with. But I do this other little tool right here, and I'm so glad that they offer this, which is auto-suggested. When you start typing it in, this is the auto-suggested off of YouTube and the auto-suggested off of Google. And what I like to do is search for those things. And so I want to see the order of it. And Tubebuddy lets you do that. But you can see that here's all the auto suggestions. And let's say I have something for football skills. I want to show you how I would kind of operate. How this works is I'm looking at different videos that are ranked crazy football skills. But notice that it is soccer. And yes, around the world it's actually football. But in the U.S. we're dumb. This is not football, I guess. But that's like really, really, really important to look at what you're going after. And can you rank for this? Is this something that you can do? And I like to look, hey, what's the possible easiest area that I can rank for in a short amount of time? Because there might be a keyword that would be more relevant, that is not as competitive, and I might be able to rank. And yeah, the traffic volume's not going to probably be huge, but it will give YouTube more data. And if it gives them enough data, then it starts suggesting it out to more. And I think that's the key for a lot of you, is you're always looking for the big views. And well, not everyone, but most of you would like, oh, I just want it to take off. I want it to skyrocket. No, the long play is doing this. If you can get more data and get a view here, a view there, and people are clicking on it, then it gets YouTube the data that it wants, and then it starts to really, really escalate up, because you'll start seeing more and more and more and more. So I never worry about how many views I get in a day. What I worry about is how low of views I actually get. And I want to make sure I always just inch up how low I get a little bit higher each week. And sometimes there's ebbs and flows, but I ultimately want to be doing ebbs and flows as it goes up. And hopefully you understand that. So some great tips there for sure. Let's go ahead and hit some of these questions from here. Okay. Golden Cheeseburger has one of the coolest I told you I'm coming out with cold. Sorry about that. One of the coolest names ever on YouTube. Golden Cheeseburger. Okay. What's the best tools for tags and their extensions? 100% Tubebuddy. I use a little bit of vidIQ, but it's not like Tubebuddy's really, really easy for me to navigate, and I think they do a great job for that. Okay. So SpongeBob saying, nice webcam hitting the 15 frame benchmark nicely. Hopefully it's actually doing more than 15 frames. Who knows on that one. Okay, going through some questions here. Okay, my tags rank, but I don't see an increase in views. This is from Magic Turtle. My tags rank, but I don't see an increase in views because it's because of my thumbnail. So yeah, if it ranks, but you're not getting views, then you need to start looking at, can I start improving the quality of my thumbnail? Is it something that I can enhance? And if you have really good ranking, that's something that I would do immediately. Try to figure out how to get them engaged. And two, think about this from YouTube's perspective. If you rank really high, but no one's clicking on it, that means nobody wants to watch it. And so they're not going to push it out to other things. Okay. Okay, and SpongeBob, just let you know, I know you have some serious questions, but I can't keep up with the feed, and so I'm just kind of pulling it in and only getting one. So you had I guess I responded to a joke, so go ahead and put one of those comments in that was serious, and we'll get right to it. I'll see if I can do it. Okay, Dollar Dude, I'm doing my first live stream tonight using OBS. I always like that, OBS. Any last minute tips? I don't know if you're doing gaming or what you're doing there. One thing that I like to do at the end of the live stream is when you have all these visitors come on, push them to a specific video. Like talk about a specific video, say, hey, you guys need to check this out. And a lot of that traffic will go to a specific video and you'll get a whole bunch of new views and new watch time minutes that's accrued. And it could signal some things for YouTube to get things going on. Okay. All right. So keep on rolling from there. Are you guys getting value out of this? Hopefully, it doesn't feel like I'm rambling too much. I'm trying to give you as much as I can. Okay, Nathan Sample says, could you talk about the new Creator Studio? Okay, that's great. Great question. So the new Creator Studio, you guys can check it out. It's something that's really, really interesting. And things are changing quite a bit there. And I'm gonna jump into Creator Studio. Hopefully this is okay with the Tubebuddy team. I can't see why not. But anyway, it's pretty much the same setup, except for when things kind of roll together. And I'm not going to go on that. Let me just go back. Sorry. I don't know if I'm allowed to do any of this stuff. So let me just go back and come to here. And Andrew, if I'm cool, just say I'm cool to do it, and I'll take care of that for sure. Okay. Looks like Tubebuddy doesn't have access to it. Let me see if I have. I know I have access on my other account. Let me see if I can log into that and roll from there. I'm just doing a different browser here. Just give me 1 second. Okay, you know what? I'm going to just move on. Let me just give you my thoughts of the new tool. Their analytical data is just getting better and better and better, and they're making it more possible that you're able to interact. with the content, and I think a lot of it is everyone on mobile devices, including iPads, were very limited of what they could actually do in the back end. You actually had to have a computer. And YouTube's realizing, guess what? Not all our content creators have computers, and they can't go to a library or get a computer. They're just using their device. So what they're trying to do is make it mobile responsive, and a lot of the changes deal with that, so that people that are only using mobile are able to have all the functionality that you actually would use in Creator Studio on desktop. And I've been working with it for quite some time, and I really, really like it a lot. I really think it's clean. It can get a little confusing where everything's at, just because of the new menu system and the AI. UI, user interface. But I honestly love it, and I think that it's going to work really well, especially in those countries that people are just connecting with their mobile. So I think it's really, really cool. Okay. The Moon Chin King. What's the best platform social media network to share your videos to gain exposure, subscribers, and views? Well, I can tell you this right now, the Moon King Shane, or is it Kin Chin? King, Moon, Shin King. There we go. I am sick and I can't even pronounce anything, and I'm going to hakalugi or something up. Social platforms. Listen. Facebook used to be it. It's not it. They penalize anyone trying to push people off of Facebook. Twitter, yeah, you can get some. Instagram, not so much anymore. It seems like there's getting more and more restrictions as it goes. The only social platform that I know of that totally embraces YouTube, but it's a weird community, it's weird social, is Reddit. And if you try to self-promote in Reddit, they will shut you down. Like literally the community will like shun you, and there's some subreddits that you can do where you can post your new videos and get exposure. But when it really starts to take off, it's these underground cultures in Reddit, these subreddit communities that start to embrace your content. And the more that they post it, or you have fans that post it, then you can actually escalate. Now, we've had videos that we've done personally for myself and clients that get to the #1 position in Reddit in video, and also the #1 position on that. And it's a big deal. And when we did that, we got 12 million views in a day. And 100% of that, of the views came from Reddit. Everything else was just under 1 million that actually came from everybody else. So Reddit was able to generate 12 million views in a day, and it's crazy. And so that's the only one that I see. Twitter, kind of, but there's some serious things happening. Mick Daster. Serious question. When is Tubebuddy planning an update with the app? Because the new YT look, nothing is working. Okay, so I know that Phil and the team has been working hard on the material design to get everything all laid up. YouTube doesn't do a very good job of explaining to people like Phil of when things are happening. I know they're working around the clock to get everything rolling for it now that it's rolled out across the board. And before, he just didn't have enough data on people using it and what worked, what didn't work. You have to have a huge sample size. And so I would assume that there's an update coming to you soon. So just be patient. A lot of the tools still work regardless, because I've been using them for 6 months, 8 months, however long I've been using material design for, and they work just fine. Just the layout's a little funky at times, and you might have to like pull into the other moves. But yeah, be patient on that for sure. Okay. Let's get another question here. Okay, just a quick question before I go to the next user question here. Is anyone from Australia and is planning to go to VidSummit or VidCon? I'm heading down there. I'm doing a presentation, and we're staying down for about a week or so in Australia. So I'd love to know who that is. So maybe we'll reach out or whatever. Connect at the conference for sure. Okay. All right, going right to the next one is, what's your thoughts on only posting weekly? All right, so you can still grow a channel pretty aggressively by posting weekly. However, to get all the YouTube love, to get YouTube to really embrace you and cuddle you and promote you, you need to do a minimum 3 times a week. I know that's hard. I know that people are like really getting frustrated with that, but the way that the algorithm works, you know, the frequency of posting is a big deal. You can still grow. I'm here to tell you, I've seen channels grow with posting 1 time a week. They just need to be more aggressive of getting more people coming to watch the videos when they're released. So I would put more effort on getting a really big push of when you actually launch a video and push traffic to that video. And you can still grow. I've seen it happen. Ryan Lewis videos says, Derral, is the 3 short videos better than 1 long video? No. What's good is to make the video what it's meant to be. So if you have a video that warrants 20 minutes, then it's a 20-minute video. If it only warrants, 2 minutes, then make it a 2-minute video. I think the most important thing is, can you break it up? Can it be in a series? If it can be in a series, then 100% go ahead and make those changes, and put out more content. But is it going to be engaging for a user and viewer? Is that viewer going to engage with the video and share it out with the rest of the world? Yeah, it's possible. All right. Okay, the Nerdy Explorer says, making a shift on my channel now. Realize I can't grow with vlogs, so I will be a filmmaking channel with tutorials, topics, and video creation content. Now, you can grow with vlogs. I've seen a ton of vlogs that have really taken off. The difference would be is who your audience and who you're trying to attract. Now, I can tell you right now, most vloggers attract women. That's right, you heard me. And not only just women, it's little girls up to mothers. And, it's like 60, sometimes 70% of their audience, sometimes even 80% of their audience that are trying to connect with the people that are doing vlogs. Now, there are other types of vlogs that attract the younger not millennials, but Gen Y, Gen Z, Gen Z. It's been one of those days. Gen Z communities. And so it's hitting those really young kids that want to watch some science stuff and cool vlogs, like Shonduras or whatever. And yeah, they can definitely do that. And you can really, really grow from there. But if your audience is more appealing to older millennials or late Gen X, then I would say go the filmmaker route, tutorial route. It works. And you can look at Peter McKinnon, the Nerdy Explorer. I don't know if you know who Peter McKinnon is, but he was at 700 subscribers at the first year, and now he's just about to pass 1 million, if he's not already past 1 million. And all he does is the kind of vlogs, but, kind of brings it together in storytelling, tutorial type stuff for sure. All righty. Okay. Hitting another thing here real quick. Are you guys finding value in this? I hope you are. And hopefully this works so that we can make this more frequent here on Tubebuddy. I just love those guys. So... Alrighty. Okay. YouTube is removing the editor, or will it be replaced by something in the future? I don't think so. I think they're just totally killing it off. I think they really are just killing it off. They're not replacing it because of the new Creator Studio. They might have an app that they release that coincides with YouTube, that you can do things, you can edit and do stuff like that. You might see that in the next 6 to 8 months, but I think they're just going to kill it off. I really do. I don't think it'll be a part of the thing. If it is, it's going to be a standalone app, or they'll start supporting standalone apps that can tie in and do some editing on your videos. All righty. Okay, Jay and Kat, should we promote our videos on AdWords to grow? Help, need help. You can, but make sure that if you do it as discovery ads. I mentioned that a little bit earlier. And basically what discovery ads is, they actually show up in search. they show up in suggestion. And this is a key point too, is they can show up on YouTube red, which is a big deal. Because you're not supposed to be able to see ads, but they can show up in discoverability, and so that's a big deal for sure. Okay, Derral, how can you make gaming videos on a MacBook Air? So it depends on what type of gaming videos that you're actually doing. Are you gaming with console type stuff? Are you doing computer, or are you doing mobile? There's several ways that you can actually do it. If you're doing mobile, you can get kind of a screen capturing type of service like ScreenFlow, or you can do something like OBS or something like that. And then you can get like Reflector 2, which is a really awesome app that lets you attach your specific content so that you can have your mobile device that actually shows up, so you're able to capture that. I do recommend anyone doing mobile actually do an iPad, because the ratio is better and you get more screen real estate, and so that's a really cool way to do it. And then if you're just playing games like web games on the MacBook Air, I don't think MacBook Air can handle a lot of the aggressive games that are out there, but it really depends on what you're doing there. All right, so the next one, how can you best identify which videos is about to explode from browse traffic? Okay, well, it's a great question, and I did a presentation. Okay, you guys might not know this, but I have a conference I put on every year, and I did a presentation 2 years ago on how to actually capitalize on browse traffic, the browse feature basically. And what browse feature is when someone's just browsing YouTube, that they find your video, and then YouTube puts videos in the place of these potential viewers and gets their eyeballs on it. And so when it comes from that, when they're browsing, you can get traffic. Now you can get a ton of traffic coming from browse feature if you're really good. And so one thing that I found, that if you can get it where it's a good video, it's being suggested, and then it gets suggested so much that YouTube says, look, the retention on this is really, really good. It's getting a ton of views, ton of real-time minutes. So let's go ahead and engage it a little bit differently, and let's start promoting it to browse feature. And so YouTube will push that video across mobile, across desktop, and it will literally start showing up on different people's feeds, even if they watched it before, but it'll go to all the subscribers, and it'll go with people that aren't even subscribed to the channel. They're like, hey, why am I even seeing this? Because there's a high probability that they'll actually watch it. So that's kind of a big deal from that. And I think the king of this would be What's Inside. They do a great job of getting their content on the browse feature for sure. They have really good thumbnails, and they get a lot of outside traffic. So, all right. Let's see here. One question, it says, hey, I just reached 100 subs after 2 months. My biggest frustration is working 4 hours on videos and getting 30 to 50 views. Should I go to 3 videos per week to daily? Look, you just started 2 months ago. That's 60 days. And my thing is, you've been doing it for 2 months, and now you have 100 subscribers. That's pretty good. And I just started a channel that is now at... Sorry. I'm going to die over on you here. Oh, getting through this sickness. But I have a channel that we started that is about 2 months old, and we only have 178 subscribers. So we're only 78 above you, but that's okay, because how YouTube works. And I want to tell you how YouTube works. And so you keep on being consistent. So what I would do before you go daily is give it another month. And a week. So you're at a total of 100 days, and see what happens around that 100-day mark, because there's something about being consistent and growing. And yeah, only getting 30 videos here. Excuse me. 30 views here, 50 views there. It adds up, and eventually something's going to click. And I found around that 90 to 100-day mark, 120-day mark, is when you'll actually see a pop. And what that means is you'll get maybe triple or quadruple the amount of normal views, and it's how you respond to that. And what I would do is make similar content around the video that just actually started to take off, and release that video, and you can see if you can kind of get things rolling from there. So that's a great question. Don't get discouraged. Don't give up. But I wouldn't make any changes to your strategy, because 3 times a week content's good. And I think all you need to do is just be patient and be consistent and really focus some attention and time on your content. And Corbin's asked me if I need some milk. I probably should, but I'm kind of phlegmy right now. That'd really kind of send me over the edge. Okay. See, you guys need to be considerate here, right? Here I am sick doing a live stream on Tubebuddy because I really care for you guys here. So, okay. Okay. Let's look at... Okay, here's Golden Cheeseburger. Once again, how do I balance YouTube and school without getting... Okay, Mirages. Okay. Okay, here's the thing is you gotta figure out balance in life. And I'm probably not the best one to talk about it because I have 17 YouTube channels. That's right. 17, but I have a good support staff. We have people that work with us that helps us put out the content, but it's still crazy. And I think the most important thing is when you do stuff that you love, then you can actually perform. And so one tactic that I learned from a client of mine, which is Studio C. If you don't know Studio C, let me go to it. This will give me the ability to get some drink too. They're on YouTube, and they're about 1.5 million subscribers here, and just really, really fun. This is like clean family fun comedy. It's like SNL for the families, right? That is very advertiser safe, and not like my video, I guess. But anyway, one thing I learned from these guys is they actually in one day shot 16 videos, and I'm like, when I saw that, I'm like, holy cow! I literally watched them, shoot all those videos all in one day. And I'm like, this is amazing. And then they basically strategically released it. So if you only did that once a week, where you took your Saturday and said, okay, on Saturday, I'm going to record all my videos. I'm going to get 4 videos. I'm going to put it together. I'm going to prep. I'm going to plan why I'm going to school. Then all you're doing is doing it on a Saturday. And then all you do is, spend the day of optimizing or whatever and get things rolling. And you just kind of, go every Saturday. But what I would do is start with a Saturday and do the full week, and then do it another Saturday. So that way, when you edit videos, you can release them, and you actually have some that are just waiting to be edited. And then that way you can spend the time editing during the week when you have some spare moments between school. That's a great question. I like that a lot. So my question to you guys. Now, this is a very important question, and I actually did it on my last live stream on my YouTube channel, but I have a 10-year-old kid that is so entertaining. He's so fun to be around, and he's been dying to have a YouTube channel. And I'm like, no, I don't know. Maybe when you're 13. And I just don't know. I mean, he's 10 years old, but he'll walk in a room and be the life of the party. That's just the way that he is. And I know that he has a lot of skills, and I'm teaching him how to edit right now. He's done a great job, won some awards for that. And so I'm wondering, what do you guys think? Should I let him have a YouTube channel? I need some validation at this. Go ahead and put it in your comments. I think the big thing for me is I don't want it to make his head swell and think he's all that, because, for me, it's just like, even the biggest YouTubers, they're just people that put their pants on one leg at a time. Unless they only have one leg, then they only put, one at a time. But I guess they still do one leg at a time. They don't have one leg. But, I just don't want my kid to get cocky. I don't want him to be, I hate to say this, but I won't say it because I can't do that. But anyway. Yes, it'll be fun for your kid. Yeah. No, it's against YouTube's terms of service. Actually, it's not against YouTube terms of service if I, the parent, am setting it up. So I'd be actually setting it up. I'd be managing it. It'd be my AdSense account. but you know, it's just having him be in some YouTube videos. So let him do it. All right. Well, I'm like I'm literally debating this, and I think I'm going to actually have a little studio that he can kind of work out of. I've been trying to get into a bigger studio, and so I don't know. It'll be really interesting. And one idea that I had, and this would be very beneficial for you guys, is that I'd actually record the process of him starting from scratch and what I actually do to reach out and grow his audience, and show you from starting from nothing and document the whole process of how to actually work with a client and treat him like a client. Okay, Ash and Dan, what are your thoughts of MCNs? Oh, yeah. Okay, Ash and Dan. MCNs, multi-channel networks. I have found that there are benefits of going to a multi-channel network, but those benefits are very, 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 very slim. And what I mean by that is how they make money is when you get views, they get a portion of the ad spend that you get. So you have to actually start spending with them or sharing with them. And there are some reasons why you'd want to do it. I think if I was a musician, I would be with an MCN so they can handle a lot of my copyright issues. Like Fullscreen's great and has a vast library because of some of the things that they're doing there that you can actually use and have no problems with monetization. But outside of that, I'd have a hard time unless they did a couple things. So this is what I would say. Number one, do you guarantee that I'll get 100% of the money? So I get all the money for advertising. If they would, then I might consider it. Number two would be, would you guarantee brand deals? And if so, what's the dollar amount per year that you'd guarantee? And regardless if you did a brand deal or not, you're getting 100% of your money, plus you're getting money for brand deals, whether they execute on it or not. So my thing is, and I think this is the big thing for everything, is really, really, really looking at those opportunities for MCNs and say, do I really need it? And they like to scare you, say, hey, we'll file, your content's like not brand safe, or we'll fight for you, or they bring something in. But ultimately, they only take care of the top 1% who's with the channel, with the MCN. So, and trust me, there's some great MCNs, and I would encourage them if they bring some value to the creator. But most of them are just taking the money and not executing on anything. So if they will execute on it, then I'm all for it, for sure. All right, so going back to this, I'm going to ask you a couple things. Now, are you guys growing on YouTube? I know this channel was really hard to grow on YouTube, and I want to tell you why. Because this content was actually made for TV first, and it was difficult because the type of videos that they'd actually create weren't necessarily made for YouTube. And sometimes the programming's difficult to do that. Sometimes you have to look at ways to get unique. And what we did for their strategy, and if you go watch one of their videos, I want you to show what comes up for related videos after that. And sometimes we have all 20 suggestions. Like there's a high probability that we'll have that. And so one of the things that we can do is if we can get them in the funnel of watching one video, they're sucked into watching more videos. And there is a strategy behind it, and it works. And then we have also had some really big YouTube only content that we made that was made specifically for YouTube that just exploded. So. All right, okay, we are getting close. Now, what I'm going to do is a couple things, and I want to make sure that I stay on and help you with a couple key things, questions, but I want to tell you about an event that I put on every year, and it's something that you might want to consider. And two, I'm going to give you a free gift. And Tubebuddy's going to give you something amazing too from this, and you're going to see me a lot more doing these live streams on Tubebuddy. But I have put on a conference every year, and the reason why is because you know, I definitely have a platform to teach people and train people how to do YouTube, but there's a lot of creators that are super smart that have grown just exponentially huge, you know, in a short amount of time, and they don't have a platform to share. So I'm like, hey, what if I actually had a conference that actually brought people together and they're able to share their tactics and strategies of what's actually working now? Would that be beneficial? And I thought it was. And so 3 years ago, we actually started this, and we had 3 specific conferences, and it just got bigger and bigger and bigger. And this year, we are holding it in LA, October 10th through the 13th. Our keynote presenters are Gary Vaynerchuk, if you know Gary or not. He's kind of an influencer in the social space. We have my buddy Shonduras, who is one of the best storytellers out there, does a lot of brand deals. And then we have, that's right, Mr. MatPat. And the game theorist himself is coming. So those are our keynote presenters. What I want to do is show you next some of the other ones that you might not know. Like Peter McKinnon was able to go from 700 subscribers up to 1 million. Cyrene Q, a huge Snapchat influencer. We have Nico with Corridor Digital. We have Judy Travis with It's Judy's Life. We even have me, Derral Eves, and people that you probably haven't heard of. One is Steven Scherer. Now, there's something about Steven is he actually was a subscriber of mine in January. He says, I want to start a YouTube channel. And him and his brothers literally binge watched all my videos. And then he also got the replays for the VidSummit and watched all those, which is a lot of hours of training. And he has grown his channel from 0 subscribers to 1.3 million subscribers since January. And they're just exploding, him and his brother, and you know, you're able to see that. Now, one thing I'm going to do for you, you can kind of go, Sarah, you can see all the different things that are going on. This is in LA, but what's cool about this is that that Tubebuddy is giving you a gift, but I'm giving you a gift too. Now, I know a lot of you are from around the world, and you can't necessarily be there in person. And I wanted to make sure that you had this offer first off. If you can go in person, you can use a Tubebuddy code. And this is only for Tubebuddy customers. Tubebuddy is a sponsor for the VidSummit. And you can get $200 off your ticket. And we know that these conferences are expensive, and a lot of you, you know, really need to save money. But this is like literally the business side of it. And it's really, really interesting of what is going on. And then 2, I actually have some replays, which for some reason my slide is not coming up on that. Let me see if I can. Yeah, it's not even coming up on that at all. But basically, you can go to vidsummit.com, and I'll actually put this in the description so you guys have this as well. But vidsummit.com/free replays, and you can get the replays from the last 2 VidSummits. That's like 60 some odd hours of content, and you're able to consume that for free. So all you got to do is go to that. Basically, the landing page looks like this. Which all you do is put in your username a username and password or email, whatever, and you're able to get that. So you just put your name and email, and you'll get all those replays. You'll have access to it as well. And this conference is really amazing, and it's for those that really want to treat this this as a business. And I know that's not for everyone. I know there are people watching here right now that can't afford to it. That's why I've given those free replays. And then 2, Phil was really, really good to work with us to come up with a way that we could give you guys some value, and you can get $200 off when you use the coupon code Tubebuddy200. Okay, well, enough about that. So let's get back to a couple last questions. So if you have a question there, I'd really love to answer it. We only have a few minutes left. And 2, I'm hoping that I can do this more consistently, maybe once a month here on Tubebuddy. So hopefully you're finding value from that as well. Thank you, Andrew, for putting the link in the chat. So if you guys can click on the link there, that's really, really important. And don't forget, if you're coming to this is like so amazing. We actually have people sitting in the audience that have you know, last year we had 32 that had over 1 million subscribers, and they're just sitting out there in the audience. And we had 3 that had over 10 million. And so it's just really, really amazing. It's just some of the best content. You can kind of get the information and what we're actually talking about at vidsummit.com. All right, so let's go ahead. Okay, so how can I compete with other YouTubers who've got all the video topics covered and I offer a different point of view? So that's great. You know, the thing about it is they might cover every topic, but you might be able to release newer content, which YouTube always favors newer content over older content. And all you need to do is get some views to it, get some traffic to it, and you can get some good ranking for that. And so that's something you can compete. And I'm here to tell you that I do that all the time, every day, and it's just like getting more and more people to actually see your content and engage with it. And so getting the thumbnail and title is critical so that when you're competing with it, that they're actually preferring your thumbnail and watching your video over your competitors. So that's a really big deal. Now, the downside is some people look at the views and all they say, oh, this one has 300,000 views and this one only has 12. Well, I'm going to go ahead and watch the 300,000 views. And so that's kind of a downside, but it's not for everyone. Some people will see the new tag on there and start watching it and engaging with it from there. So, all righty. Yes, I need some health advice. It looks like people are giving me health advice so I can actually get back on this. This is awesome. Okay, Andrew's asking a question. Is there any requirements to be a speaker at VidSummit? Just curious. It has a goal for me to reach. Well, I am the person that approves everyone that's going to be on the VidSummit stage. And what I look for is you don't have to be a big person. You don't have to be a big name, but you have to be able to know your stuff. That's a really, really big deal for me is number one, that you know your stuff and you have case studies to actually show that you know it. So I've always been the behind the scenes type of person before I got behind the camera. And I was helping with projects and we'd do strategies that no one knew who I was until I started, posting videos and getting more engaged as a thought leader in the community. And so one of the things I look for as a speaker is, are they doing something cool? And if so, what value can they actually bring for the people that are sitting in the audience? Is it something that they're willing to share and open up? And the type of presenters that we get there are saying, hey, look, when we had this campaign, we had an idea of doing this. Here's the steps that we took in place to get the campaign rolling. Here's our execution on the campaign. Here's the things that we did wrong. And if we were to do the campaign all over again, here's some areas that we would have changed in the order that we were able to change. And that's the result. So they're actually opening up. Or somebody else says, look, we were able to go from 1 subscriber up to 1.3 million subscribers in less than 8 months. And this is how we did it. This is what we look at. This is what we do daily. That's some really important knowledge to actually gain. So that's something really cool. And then too, Andrew, reach out to me, join my Facebook community, Video Makers and Marketers, and get active in that. And the more that you're on my radar, you have a higher probability. You really do have a higher probability of presenting for sure. So, okay, one last question here, guys. Let's do this thing. Who is it going to be? Put your question in there. I'd really like to see this. You always have to self-promote. I do it all the time. I mean, I was promoting VidSummit of all things, coming on, giving you an hour, and then promoting VidSummit for sure. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Very answered their question. So keep on. Do another question here because I want to answer from people that are not there. Okay, here we go. Laura at Everyday Graces. As a homeschool blogger, I post yearly curriculum suggestions. Since it's for grade level, sorry about that. That was very disgusting of me to cough right into the camera, right? Since it's for grade level, would it be better to leave year out of the title and just leave first grade homeschool curriculum? That's a great question. So the nice thing about it is if you can create curriculum each week for each level, so you have first grade, second grade, third grade, fourth grade, fifth grade, and all the curriculum matches that, that could be really interesting, and that's really evergreen. That means that someone can come on and says, oh, okay, this really is relevant, 2 or 3 years down the road, because the content's not necessarily going to change. And so you can always add to it. You can always say, okay, I'm going to do, every once a month, I'm going to do, 4 videos for first grade or whatever it may be, and go from there. And I would probably do leave first grade in the title, and then I would put it in a first grade playlist, and I would basically do month 1, month 2, month 3 for the grades, so they can kind of go in order and sort it in order. That would be very powerful. And then 2, this is a very, 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 very important tip, is to make it a series, official series playlist that all the first grade material stays together. And that's something that will help you get more views and interactions from there. So great question. And the more that you kind of put it in there is, if you want to separate it by weeks, or I don't know, you'd have to really look at it. I think what I'll do is take a look at your channel and maybe give you some feedback into some comments. So, man, I just said that was the last question, but let's do one more. Can you come to Japan and have a workshop? I would love to come to Japan. I have not been to Japan yet, and I am coming to China in March of next year, and I'd love to stop over in Japan if I could. So the best way to do that is if you know someone that needs some training, have them reach out to me. For me, it's just making a business decision of where to spend my time, and if there's ways that I can actually stop over for that, I definitely do that. So guys, thank you so much for coming on. Don't forget to jump over to VidSummit.com. And if you want to come, this is like the event. This is like VidCon Industry Days on steroids. You can get $200 off just for using Tubebuddy. Use the coupon code Tubebuddy200, and you're gonna see some of the most amazing presenters, people that are not holding back, sharing with you the tactics. And 2, if you guys cannot attend in person just because of logistics or schedules, we will have replays for you to purchase, and we might even have live streams. We're trying to work it out so that we actually live stream it, but it's not looking too good right now, and we're too close to the conference. We just got to make sure that it works. But so if you have that, go ahead, go over to VidSummit.com, get your tickets now before they're gone, and use the tube code. It's one of those days, guys, I promise. The coupon code Tubebuddy200. Guys, thank you so much. And I want to personally thank Tubebuddy for making my life easier. I think I just love the tool. I love the guys over there. They're very responsive of when I want to see things and see new features. They're really, really good. Let's give big props for them, not only for surpassing 100,000 subscribers, but also making an amazing tool that really frees up our lives so we can actually have fun. Thanks, guys. Have a wonderful and effective